my breathing. It's so nice, it's like a blanket on my life.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome back to the revival of the 3-Minute Book Club, where we say, hey, want to connect more with someone? Want to know more about a thing you're already interested in? Want to be a deepened, better person? Or why don't you read a book about something, right? Why not read a book about it? This is the All Hoopla edition. Hoopla is an app that I can access and check out books on, and that you can too, through library. I use the Stone Monroe Falls and my local Stark County libraries, and have Hoopla and check out books. And I love physical copies of books, but I'm having to be converted over to get my hands on books I'm looking for now. Kind of have to be in digital more and more. And so I'm going to talk about 3 books that I've read recently. They're all digital books, and that you can get for free if you have a library card and you get the Hoopla app. It's growing on me. I still don't love it, but I'll do it. So this is the All Hoopla edition. The first one, I've recommended this book to several engineers at St. Stephen that I know in my life. It's called The Things We Make by Bill Hammock. The Things We Make. And Bill Hammock is a professor of engineering, and this is the hardest book to read on this list. But it's about how we live under the idea of these things just sort of show up by some great smart person designed it and it came to us, but how engineering actually works from incremental change. He has the first opening chapter about how cathedrals were designed, and it's sort of intriguing, never thought about it this way. The people who designed very early cathedrals didn't even know the reasons why they did what they did, and he has a whole chapter about how they came up with how to design things. They didn't even know the rules, the sort of rules of engineering and architecture that they were using, but they saw them in places, were taught them, and then applied them. And so how this stuff just sort of happens from little incremental changes. I used this book to inspire the Christmas Eve sermon about how lighting has advanced, and how it did not advance by one person, Thomas Edison, doing all the work, but by hundreds of people doing little things that Thomas Edison sort of capped off. And so it's called The Things We Make by Bill Hammock. Definitely the hardest read on here, and I read it digitally, so take of that what you will. The second book is called Disarming Leviathan. Disarming Leviathan, talking to your Christian nationalist neighbor. This is the most religious book on this list. Disarming Leviathan by Caleb Campbell. Caleb Campbell is an evangelical. Interesting to me because evangelicals tend to sometimes fall into being nationalists, and he talks about having a lot of people he knows being Christian nationalists, and so he's written this book because he does not think that is a great expression of faith. And so Disarming Leviathan will talk to you quite a bit about what Christian nationalism is, talk about what Leviathan and why people become Christian nationalists. But then it has, I'd say, 2/3 of the book that cover sort of topics like, I don't know, I won't go into them here, but different topics that we wrestle with in the United States and nationalists side with on one side and other people side on another side. And then he sort of talks about how you can make this something that you talk about without arguing about it. Interesting, well done from a strong faith perspective. Disarming Leviathan by Caleb Campbell, and you might hear me talk about that during the season of Lent that is coming up. The third and final book I'll talk about is, hey, if you like a thing, you read a book about it. I like books, so I read books, sometimes about books. And so this book is called 7 Kinds of People You Find in Bookshops by Sean Bythell. Sean owns a shop in Scotland, in the UK, I'll say, a bookstore, and so he talks about 7 kinds of people. Actually, it's a lot more. He makes categories and whatever. So it's about people he meets in this small business to where they come in to sell books, and sort of the kinds of interactions he has with them. It's about books. It's about small businesses, but it's about connecting with other people and their behaviors and your behaviors and some of that sort of stuff. So the 3 books this week are, the hardest one was The Things We Make by Bill Hammock. That's probably my biggest recommendation of the 3. Disarming Leviathan, which I will talk about all throughout Lent and will recommend, and you'll have a chance to read, I hope. That's Caleb Campbell. And then the last one is probably the least of the recommended of the 3, but if you like books, look into it. 7 Kinds of People You Find in Bookshops, Sean Bythell. All right, I hope you enjoy one of these. Thanks for your continued support of the 3-Minute Book Club. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.